Welcome back. All right. So today we're going to learn how to handle salary discussions with confidence. The most challenging part of a job interview for many candidates is the question of salary. We've all been there. Okay, so being able to discuss money matters with confidence will help you get the compensation you want and may even improve your job satisfaction. These are some steps to take before you get the job offer, after you get the job offer, and in specific circumstances. Okay, so first we're going to discuss steps to take before you get a job offer. So one, let the employer go first in any salary discussions. You have a better chance of staying in the running and negotiating with an employer who genuinely wants you on their team the longer you can wait to have the discussion. I totally agree with this. You don't want to, especially if it's a dream job or a job that you need, because most times if you're applying for a job, it's because you need the job, right? So it's definitely best to let them bring up that dollar amount for you to negotiate. They're gonna, they don't always start low, but the concept is that in negotiation, they're gonna start low. And then you can also, assess and check out. You should already be aware of, if this is before you take the job offer, you should already be aware. There's so many sites out there. You should be aware of what the company already will offer you, or what that position pays within that company, and or you should definitely know what is being paid in that market, so that way you can know if the if the employer is coming to you with a fair number, right? But you definitely want them to go first in negotiation. And I might have a video about this soon, but in negotiation, the first person who talks is already lost. We all know that. All right, so number two, assess your individual situation. The exact approach you take will depend on the situation. If asked for salary requirements or expectations, be realistic. Do not shoot for the moon and take yourself out of consideration if you would realistically accept less. At the same time, do not go below your minimal acceptable salary and try to negotiate it later. That is misleading and not fair to the employer. And it is certainly not the right way to start a potential relationship. If you would not accept anything less than 80,000, for example, put 80,000 or better yet, 80,000 to 100,000. Ranges can be your friend. Don't put 75,000 and be offended at the offer stage. If an application asks you for your current salary, think very carefully about that employer. Try to bring people in at their current salary can create inequality inside the organization, and is one of the greatest contributions to gender and pay disparity. If you are a female or a minority candidate or someone under 30, you are more likely to start in the organization earning less than your value and may never catch up to your peers. Asking your current salary is illegal in many states and municipalities, so know your rights. Again, this goes back to, I mentioned kind of sort of in a negotiation. You should be able to research and know what that company potentially will offer you. Also, there's a very good practice to not take a job that's going to pay you less than what you actually want just because you need a job, because of the fact that even you're gonna leave, like you're gonna be very unhappy being there over time. It might be something that you need right now, but in the long run, you'll be unhappy there. I like the range thing. A lot of times when companies, I get what they're saying, but a lot of times when companies ask you for what you are willing to take, there isn't really a range option. So you, like they mentioned, you want to make sure that you're being realistic by checking what they're already offering. By checking the ranges of what they're already offering. And then also you can check based on that title of the position that you're applying for the range in your city. Or even if it's work from home, you can check and make sure, you can check and verify what are the amounts that they're like should be in the range of what you want. And then just list the lowest number that you will accept. And be honest with yourself, because like they mentioned, it's not the start of a good relationship. It's like someone presenting themselves to you as having a head full of hair and they're bald. I don't know why that came to my mind, but it's like, please be honest as you can. It's the start of your relationship with the company, and you will be miserable sooner than later. So just be honest with yourself and with the company. All right. So number 3, stress your interest. You might be surprised, so yeah, definitely be honest. All right. So number 3, stress your interest in the position. Let the people interviewing you know that you are enthusiastic about their company and the position. Explain that monetary compensation is just one factor for you, and that you are also interested in career advancement, gratifying work, and other considerations. Absolutely, 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 absolutely. If a company cannot offer you the money that you want, you can offer them suggestions of what you're willing to take in other types of compensation, where if they could adjust your schedule, where you work an alternate schedule, you come up with creative ideas. Some companies, oh goodness, I'm trying to think. There was one company that I worked for. It was small business. She fed me, right? So it literally eliminated, not saying I will definitely have a video about emotional coupons. I do not get paid with emotional coupons, especially after I read a particular book that I am going to suggest, but we'll get to that later. Now, because of the fact that she fed me, it reduced my cost of living. And it was negotiated in my pay, so depending, but this was also, there's other things surrounding it for why I agreed to that at that time. Not because I had an issue with buying my own food, but I really wanted to work with that company, and they were a small business, and the pay, it was like, okay, I started at a certain rate, and I was like, we're going to keep it at this rate until I get you guys at a certain point. And then when I get you at a certain point, then my pay will increase accordingly. So that was the agreement, right? But in a part of the agreement was also that I would like, they mentioned that we have food here, blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, okay, I've never been paid that way, but I will consider that because I understand I really wanted to work with them, and I really enjoyed working with them. And it was a pleasant walk away too. When the relationship ended, it ended, and we are all still great friends, but it was great, so there's different, you can be creative if it's a smaller company and they won't pay what, they're not able to pay. I was there to increase their bottom line, so I understood what was going on, right? Still, I was getting paid, like it wasn't like, I feel like that story sounds like I was like hungry and practically homeless, which is not the case, but it just was one of the perks, and I'm trying to give an example. All right, so moving on before people are like, how much money are you making? Anyways, I don't want to talk about that. Okay, so number four, conduct background research. So gather all the information you can about average salaries for the openings you're looking at. Visit your local library and check online on websites to view it. And I've already mentioned that, so definitely number 4 coincides with the rest of it. Okay, so now we're going to discuss steps to take after you get the job offer. So number 1, ask for clarification. Congratulations on receiving a job offer. Now is the time to discuss salary. It is still advantageous. If you can get the employer to take the first step and let you know the budget they are working with. Asking for clarification is very good. I have not ever had to, I just mentioned how I did that. But yeah, asking for clarification is good. Making sure you outline everything is great. Again, the first person that speaks in negotiation is the one that is not going to leave and walk away from the table with the winning side. So you're doing good if you ask the employer to take the first step and let you know the budget that they are working with. Great job. All right, number 2, evaluate the whole package. Remember that your salary is just one item in your entire compensation package. Pay attention to all the details, including paid leave, health insurance, and retirement accounts. Exactly. So you have to look at the full picture of what it is that you're making. If you have a job where they offer you a car and they're going to also give you a credit card for fuel, that's a big deal. Not saying that you should take a $20,000 pay cut, but depending on what they're offering you, you want to make sure you look at the entire job offer package. Okay. Number 3, negotiate in good faith. Aim for a win-win. To start off a good relationship with your employer, you both want to feel that you are being treated fairly. Excuse me, I'm going to repeat that since it sounded like the word didn't want to come out. To start off a good relationship with your employer, you both want to feel that you are treated fairly. And that is true. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. It's a relationship, right? So you want to start off on a good note. Not that every job is a long-term scenario. Long-term could be 50 years. I don't know if we'll work for someone for 50 years, but I would assume that you want to be there at least 1 to 3 years, right? Because even when you're applying for jobs, it's frowned upon if you're changing jobs every year. So you want to spend a significant amount of time with them. So you both want to find a way to make that happen for each other, right? So the fact that you want the job and you've gotten the job and they want to be in a relationship with you by offering you the job is no better time to talk about how this will look for both of you than in the beginning after you've gotten the job offer. Okay. All right. So 4, put it in writing. Ask for a written letter of agreement or cite everything you discussed in your thank you email following up on the job offer. You want to be sure you are on the same page. Absolutely. I'm always all about communication, especially work from home. I write everything and I love it. So that's my jam. All right. So number 5, you deserve time to consider the offer. It is acceptable to ask for 48 to 72 hours to consider a job offer. Okay. Always remember that you can ask for time. I remember for a friend of mine, I had written that on the wall. I'm like, it is okay for me to change my mind. May I please have a moment to think on this before I answer? That is definitely key in every aspect of your life, because when we're elated, we make decisions and we're super duper happy. Who knows how long you've been looking for that job? Who knows how long you've been waiting for that promotion? And so, that happened to me. One of the promotions I had gotten was only $1 over what I was being paid. And I didn't know. I was like, that's it. So there's things that you do. You can ask for time to consider things. You don't have to take it just because it's offered. Like I mentioned in my book, the promotion might be at another job. If your job can't afford to pay you what you actually are interested in, you might get that bigger. Hello, my name is Kendra, the official business renovator. Thank you for joining my channel today, and I hope that you enjoy the content today. Feel free to like, comment, and share the video, as well as subscribe so that you can get notifications for when I release new content. Also, click the link in the bio for more products from me, as I recently released the book, The Great Promotion, and I discuss how I got promoted 4 times in 6 months and received a bonus while working from home.